Okay, first thing we're going to do is enable editing. Okay. Step 2, set range names for the workbook. Select the student loan sheet. Okay, it's selected. Okay, yeah, it's selected. And select cells B5 to C8. Oh, B5 to C8. Okay. Click the Create from Selection button. It's under the Formulas tab. Define Names group. Create from Selection. Verify that the left column box in the Create Names from Selection box is selected. Deselect the top row if it's selected. It's not selected, so we can just click on OK. Select cells E5 to F7. Click the Name Manager button, Formulas tab, so Names Manager. So as you can see, here's the name, and then here's the values of those variables. View the names in the Name Manager box. Notice that the cell references are absolute. Click Close. Okay, step number 3, enter a payment PMT function. So select C8. There's C8. Click the Financial button that's under the Formulas tab. Function library, so Financial, and select PMT. Click the Rate box and click the cell C7. The range name rate is substituted and it is an absolute reference, so it shows the rate there. Okay, type divide by 12 immediately after rate to divide by 12. So we go /12. Okay. Click the MPER box and click cell C6. So loan term. Okay, type times 12. Okay, click the PV box and type a minus sign to set the argument to a negative amount. Okay, click cell C5. Okay. A negative loan amount reflects the lender's perspective since the money is paid out now. Leave the FV and type buttons empty and click OK. Okay, notice that the payment amount then is entered in here. Verify or format cell C8 as the accounting format to match cell C5. So this to be accounting to look like that. Okay, step number 4. Create a total interest formula. Click cell F5. This value is calculated by multiplying the monthly payment by the total number of payments to determine total outlay. From this amount, you subtract the loan amount. Okay. Type equals and click cell C8. Click the equal sign, and then C8, and type the multiply sign, and click cell C6, and type times 12 multiplied by 12, and type the minus sign immediately after 12, and then type cell C5. Okay, click cells. Okay, the formula is payment times loan term times 12 minus loan amount, which is what we have here. Parentheses are not required because multiplications are done from left to right, followed by subtraction, so everything will be done correctly. Now press enter. The amount, the result is $1,185.81. Okay. Step 5, create the total principal formula and the total loan cost. Select cell F6. Okay. This value is calculated by multiplying the monthly payment by the total number of payments. This amount subtract the total interest. We type equals, and then C8. And we type multiply, and then click cell C6. Multiplied by 12, and minus, and click cells F5. Okay, and we press enter. So total principal is the amount of the loan. 10,000 here equals the 10,000 there. Okay. Click F7. Type equals. Then click F5 plus F6 press enter. So that's the total cost including the interest and the total principal. Okay, now we want to click cell B13. The beginning balance is the loan amount. So click equals and click cell C5. Now you could click cell C5 or you could just enter in C5. Sometimes just enter in, it's easier to enter in C5, so it's up to you. And press enter. Okay, that's the starting balance. Format the value as accounting number format. So we go here and it's already accounting, so we're in good shape. Click cell C13. The interest for each payment is calculated by multiplying the balance in column B by the rate divided by 12. So here we'll say equals and click the cell B13, or you can type B13, it's up to you. Then you want to type times, and then put a parenthesis and click cell C7. And then we want to divide by 12. Then press enter. And the result should be 37.5. That's correct. And we also want this to be an accounting value, so change it to that like that. Click cell D13. The portion of the payment that is applied to the principal is calculated by subtracting the interest portion from the payment. So we set this equals and then click cell C8. Minus C13. And then press enter. For the first month's payment, $148.93 is applied to the principal and $37.50 to interest. Click cell E13. Total payment is the interest portion plus the principal. So we set this equal to C13 plus D13. And then press enter. Notice we get 186.43, which is the same amount as the payment up here. These two values are the same. Select cell F13. And the ending balance is the beginning balance minus the principal payment. So we type equals B13 minus D13 and press enter. So the ending balance is $9,581.07. Okay, so you can look at the formulas from B13 to F13 and verify that they equal what's in the table there in the instructions. Step 7, fill data and copy formulas. So now we've set up all these formulas across here. Now we can apply that down the page, and we don't have to calculate these for each cell. We can just mostly copy and paste the formulas. So here we're going to select cells A13 and A14. Notice that that series is incremented by 1, so 1, 2, and then the next one should be 3. Since we've got both of these selected, we can drag the fill pointer down to 72 down here. So what I'm going to do to try to make that a tad easier is I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so that most of this shows up like so. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it does kind of make it a little easier whenever you're dragging if everything shows up on the same screen. So notice that that goes from payment 1 down to payment 60, which is what is that, 5 years? Yeah. This sets 60 payments for a 5-year loan. Select cell B14. So here's B14. The beginning balance for the second payment is the ending balance for the first payment. So we need to set this equal, then type F13, double click the fill pointer for cell B14. So then just press enter, and then we're going to take this and then drag this down. Okay, notice that there's a bunch of dashes there. The reason why is because we're using the value from the ending balance on the previous line. Since there's no value here, these are just going to be blanks or dashes for now. Whenever we fill these in, that will be filled in. Okay, select cells C13 to F13. Okay. Double click the fill pointer so we can come up, we need F13, so let's go over one more. And then we can double click the fill pointer, so put it over where we got the cross, and then double click. Yeah, it's not doing it. It's not doing it for me. So what I'll have to do then is grab this and then drag it down. Oops. Okay. What did I do wrong? So I need C13. Okay, what I did wrong was I did the 14, I needed the 13. So we're going to select all of these like so, and then we're going to do the double click. Okay, notice those values are put in there, and after a little while, looks like something might be wrong here. Okay, let's see what's wrong here. Okay, so what needs to happen here is we need to make this an absolute reference, which that's why if you click, do it the right way, you won't have that problem. Let's click that and let's see if that fixes that. Yeah, and by fixing that, it fixes the rest of the table. So notice that the formula here for C13 really should be an absolute value, which means that this value never changes. So if we click here, notice that on the next row, it also says C7. This also says C7, but notice that the value here in the front is the value up here. So we got B15 here. This one references B14, and so on. Okay, so that fixes that problem. So you may have little problems like that too, and actually I'm going to leave that in the video so that way you can look at that, because many of you will probably run into the same problem, and so that's how you fix that. Okay, now for step I, for 7I, hit Control Home, and that takes us to the top. Okay, now step 8, build a multiplication formula. So click the Fees and Credit tab and select F7. Okay. Credit hours times number of section times the fee calculates total fees for the course. So we want to type equals and then click cell C7 times D7, and then press enter. No parentheses are necessary. Double click the fill pointer for F7, so bring this back up here, and then double click this and it fills it in for all the other values. Verify that the cells F7 to F18 are currency format. Okay, so we want to come up here and change this to currency. Select a single bottom border for F18. Notice that that's a dash, so we want to go here and then click bottom border. So notice now that the dash is a single line. Okay, step 9. We want to use SUMIF to calculate fees by department. Select cell C26. C26. Click the Math and Trig button, so that's under Formulas, Math and Trig, and we want to find SUMIF. Scroll down, SUMIF. Click the range box, and we want to select cells B7 to B18. Press F4. And that makes it a absolute reference, a reference absolute. Click the criteria button and select cell B26. Click the sum range box and select cells F7 to F18 and press F4. Okay, that makes it an absolute reference. Click OK, and we get a value of 98. And I'm not sure that's right because it says it should be 13350. So let me go back and look at that again. Sum if to make the reference absolute. I think that this also has to be an absolute reference, and I think this has to be an absolute reference as well. Oh, what am I doing wrong here? F7 to F18, F7 to F18, click OK. Let's see, 826. Okay. F7. F. Okay. Okay. That is interesting. Okay, I think what the problem is, it has to do with this here. Total fees, that's not right. So really the total fee should be, let's see, we've got, let's go back to that. Total fees. Oh, yes, times E7. There we go. That looks a little better. And then I'll drag this down. There we go. That was what the problem was. So there was nothing wrong with this formula. It was actually this here. I didn't follow directions completely. 8B is where I made the mistake. Okay, so we want to copy the SUMIF function. So we go here on C26. And we will drag the field pointer to copy the formula. Okay. Format cells as currency. Like so. Okay, use the sum product and trace it error. Step 11. Select cell D26 and click the Formulas tab, click the Math and Trig, and select Sum Product. Okay. Click the Array 1 box. Okay, and select cells C7 to C9. Okay. Click the Array 2 and put in D7 to D9. Okay. And then click OK. Alright. So the biology department offered 98 total credit hours. Okay, click cell D26. Okay, and this is trace area, and we want to okay, all we have to really do is just go over that. That's all we have to do for that portion. Click the trace error button and select ignore error. So click here and we'll click on ignore error. Okay, there we go. Copy and edit the sum product. So we want to drag the fill pointer down like so. Click cell D27 and click the insert function button in the formula bar. Insert function. Select and highlight the range in the Array 1 box. Okay. And select cells C10 to C12. C10 to C12. Range you select replaces the range in the dialog box. Select the range in Array 2. I want, oops. Let me redo that. Clicked on the button, and this one needs to be D10 to D12. Okay. Alright, and then we want to say ignore errors on that one. And so we've got this. Edit and complete the formulas in cells D29 and D30. D28 and D29. So what we have to do is the bio is the first three. So that's why we got C7 to C9. So C7 to C9, then FRL, foreign language, or no, is C10 through C12. The IMS is 13 to 15. So here we need to change these to 13, 15, 13, 15. Okay, and the last one is 16 to 18. So we change these to 16 to 18, 16 to 18, press enter. Okay. Step number 13, actually we can go through here and ignore the errors, so click on this, ignore error, error, like so. Okay, step number 13, insert the current date as a function. So select cell F20, so F20, right there. Okay, type equals, and press tab to select the function. Type equals, and press tab to select the function. Oh, okay, so type tab, type equals and then TO, and then tab to select the function that is there. And then press enter, and that enters in today's date. And hit Control Home, take us to the top. Now we want to paste range names. So step 14, click the new sheet button in the tab area. So we click this here. Brings up a new sheet. Name the new sheet range names. So right click on it and rename to range names. Press enter. Click F3 to open the paste name dialog box. So let's press F3. Click the paste list. Auto fit columns A and B. So we go up here, double click, and then that's it. We save it.